All right, so yeah, there we go. So yesterday we spoke about the seat belts, the rules that have to do with the seat belts, and there we talked about when is it compulsory to wear a seat belt, which was 3 years and above, and when it's not compulsory to wear a seat belt. And those cases was when you are reversing or parking, moving in or out of a parking. We spoke about the rules of towing, right? Whenever we are towing, the rules that we have to follow. So the driver who drive a towed vehicle must have a license, and what's important about that license, it must qualify that particular driver to drive that class of a vehicle, right? Other rules were the maximum distance when towing, it was 3.5 meters. Above 3.5 meters, you are not allowed to tow each other, right? And we spoke about which from 1.8 meters and above, now it is compulsory to display a red flag in that towing material, right? From 1.8 meters and above, it was compulsory, and we set the maximum towing speed whenever we use a tow rope. It's 80 kilometers per hour, and such a car with armor faulty brakes, it must be towed with a solid bar. It can be either a drop bar or a tow bar. And then we did also mention that passengers are allowed on a vehicle that is being towed as long that vehicle travels at a speed that's less than 30 kilometers per hour. And such an exception, it will be if it's a semi-trailer, right? If it's a semi-trailer, then it can travel at a speed above that. The same thing here, the maximum towing speed when you are using a rope, it only applied when we are using a rope. But if we use something solid like a tow bar or dropper, we can tow at a higher speed. The number of cars that are allowed whenever we tow, it's a maximum 1. You can tow 1 car at a time and 2 trailers at a time. So those were the towing rules. Let's go to hooter or horn. There we set a hooter. Its primary use is to alert a user of a potential danger or accident, right? And set the minimum audible distance should be audible from good distance of 90 meters and above. Lastly, there we set a tone or pitch of the hooter shouldn't change. No, it shouldn't sound like a siren. It should remain constant. All right. So let me see what else have we covered here. All right. Yeah, I think lastly we covered, okay, in fact there are 2 things. So we did talk about divided roads. Whenever we have those solid lines on the road, those lines, they tell us not to overtake. If those dividing lines are broken, they mean overtaking is permitted there, right? And then we spoke about a following distance. When is a following distance safe, and we spoke about 2 conditions. It's either a favorable condition or unfavorable condition. So let me start with the first one, which is favorable, right? Favorable condition, if you're driving a light motor vehicle there, you have to follow a 2 seconds rule, or you must keep a distance of 2 meters. If it's a heavy motor vehicle, make sure that is 3 meters, or you keep a 3-second rule, right? You follow a 3-second rule. Under unfavorable conditions, that distance has to increase. To what extent, it is no measurement, but you must increase it to a point where it allows you to be able to stop without swerving. Okay, so yeah, those were the rules there when it comes to following distances. I think that's it. I think that's it with what we have covered yesterday. Now let's continue. All right, let's continue. Let's see. No. I think I left one more rules. I think I left one more section. My rules about speed limits, because we already covered that. Now, so site default speed limits there. The default speed limits for a light motor vehicle, or let me say for all the cars, as long as we are traveling on an urban area, is 60 kilometers per hour. And then if we are looking at light motor vehicles, particularly in go freeway, it will be what? 120 kilometers per hour. And if we are not on an urban area and we are also not on a freeway, then it was 100 kilometers per hour for light motor vehicles. All right. Now, for goods vehicles that weigh 9,000 and above, right, those ones, it was 80 kilometers per hour if we are outside an urban area, right? 80 kilometers per hour. And for passenger vehicles, that was 100 kilometers per hour. Passenger vehicles we spoke about, it's your taxis, your buses, your vehicles, right? They fall under passenger vehicles. Yeah, if you have that, then you are fine with what we have covered yesterday. Now let's continue with what we are looking at today. All right. You know, I keep on seeing something that we discussed yesterday. So when I want to continue. So let me cover this. The rules on overtaking, right? We did talk about them. My rules whenever we overtake. And then we said it's either you are the one doing the overtaking or you are being overtaken, right? So let's look at the one where you are doing the overtaking. We said the only time you do that overtaking is only if it is safe to do so, right? If it's not gonna endanger any road user, then yeah. So that includes yourself then. And then we said you don't overtake solid lines. We already spoke about that. And then in Satitina, you do not overtake a vehicle that has stopped on a pedestrian crossing, right? If that vehicle is yielding to pedestrians, do not overtake it. And lastly, Sati, it's very important to understand that whenever you do overtaking, you shouldn't drive on a shoulder of the road, right? Shoulder of the road is those edge lines is on the road. So all those were the rules whenever we do overtaking. Now, when we are being overtaken there, the first thing, if you want to allow someone else to overtake you, slow down. Do not speed up, right? Slow down. That's the first rule. Number two, move to the left as possible so that that person can overtake you, right? So yeah, those were the two there. The exception of each shoulder of the road, it fell under this case where we want to allow someone to overtake us. If we want to allow someone to overtake us, we can drive on a shoulder of the road if we are allowing someone else to overtake us. But there were 4 conditions that had to hold it there, right? 4 of them. One was, I must be blocking this person, right? It must be a single road, not a multiple lane road. Single lane road, right? So secondly, I must have a vision of 150 and above. I must be able to see what's 150 and above. Thirdly, it must be in a way that I'm not endangering any road user. So yeah, that was the third one. And the fourth one, it must be during the day. Okay, we don't do that at night. Should do it during the day. Okay, so yeah, that's it there. Now, let me pick someone. Let me pick someone for this one because we are starting now. Esther. All right. So, we don't just stop on the road, right? Stopping or parking on the road is not allowed, right? Random. You only stop if there's a marking, a signal, or a sign that's telling you to do it, or a traffic officer. Now, here's a question. In a case where your car breaks, right? In a case where your car breaks and you stopped unintentionally, what are the rules that you should follow? Esther? Yes.
Hello, can you can you please repeat your question because I had a problem network here.
Okay, so the question was, stopping on the road is just not permitted unless you are following a marking, a sign, a signal, or
Yeah.
an instruction from the traffic officer. Right? So in a case where your car broke down, it means you have stopped unintentionally. You are not following all of the things that I just mentioned, right? Which rules should you follow there under
Yeah.
that case?
When I'm stopping because of my car has broke down,
Yes,
I
unintentionally.
must okay. I think I must move to the left hand side to avoid to avoid distracting other traffic but again traffic users. Ne?
Yes. Mm, correct. So yeah. Um.
Hello,
Yes. Yes, Esther. So you are allowed to cross.
hello,
Yebo. Esther.
hello.
Yebo. Yangizwa.
Yeah, nangiyakuzwa.
Yeah. So that means you are allowed to cross the shoulder of the road when
Yeah.
um when you have stopped unintentionally, right? Because you have stopped
Yes.
unintentionally, your car broke down. For you to avoid blocking the traffic flow, you can cross the shoulder of the road. Yes.
Okay.
What else? I just cross it. Then that's it.
And then I must place that triangle, the red triangle, about 45 meters behind me to show, to notify other road users.
Yeah, so you must display an emergency triangle, right? It's very important. You must display an emergency triangle. And I like the fact that you also mentioned with that triangle, it should at least be 45 meters away.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So, which
yeah.
position? At the front or at the back?
At the back.
At the back of your vehicle, right? So this
Yes.
tells you that each and every car that's traveling on the road, it must have this triangle, right? Because you'd never know when you're stuck on it. So it is a rule that each and every vehicle that is on the road, kumele ibe na this emergency triangle. All right, yeah,
Yes.
amazing guys. Mnele nama emojis, right? Mnele ama emojis. Let me pick someone else. Um, James. All right, James. The following questions is cool. So let's see. James, can you tell us about the rules whenever we want to change lanes? Whenever we want to change lanes, which rules should we follow? I want to move from one lane one to another lane.
Hello.
Yes.
The rules, if you want to change the lanes.
Yes.
First, I think first one is that I must be aware that a line is a broken line, and secondly, I must indicate. I think to
So
show others.
the one that you say is the second one is the first one, by the way.
Okay, sorry about that.
So it's the first one. You must indicate. All right.
Yeah.
You must indicate. And yeah, and that statement is not complete, you know. So can we complete
Okay.
it?
I must indicate. Uh, yo, what else?
So
Check
let me help
the
you.
side mirrors.
You must indicate in good time. Now it's complete. Okay.
Okay.
You must indicate your intention in good time. What does that mean? It means I indicate and wait for the other people to see that I have indicated. All right. So the people that are coming from my back, they must see that okay, this guy is intending to do 1, 2, 3, right? Either moving to the right or left. So you indicate in good time. So that means we don't indicate and change a lane. We indicate and pause a bit. We wait for people. Okay. Yes, that's the first one. What's next?
Check the side mirrors for blind spots.
So yeah, the second one it would be to check side mirrors. In fact, not just side, your rear view mirrors, right? So
Yes.
both the external and
Inside
the
one.
interior one, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you check rear view mirrors wako. And the reason you want to check that it's simply because especially on the sides, right? You want to check
Yeah.
on the lane that I'm moving to, is there a car that's coming through faster? Is that space clear or not? So you can only move there, like we said, according to the rules, if it is safe to do so. So yeah, that would be the second one. What's the other one?
I think we check the blind spot.
Checking the blind spots. Amazing, guys. Checking the blind spots. That will be the third step, right? So blind spots is any area that's not visible in my review mirrors. It means number one, when I'm looking at my sighting, right? Man checking my sighting, not checking the mirror, just checking the sides. That's a blind spot, right? That area, yes, my sighting is not being shown by mirrors. Even your front is not shown by your review mirrors. So all of those are your blind spots. So you check those. That's the last thing that you have to do. You check blind spots, and then you can change lanes, guys. Nigelano James, some emojis, amazing James. Those are the rules. Those are the rules whenever we change lanes, right? Those are the rules that we have to follow there. All right. Let's see. Let's just see what's next. Um, okay. Let's see. Tsepiso, rules that we have to know about our lights or motor manje. You know, the lights of our motor vehicle. Which rules should we know? Tsepiso.
Hello.
Yebo.
Yes, I said you mustn't your lights mustn't be as bright as more than 45 meters.
Which lights are you talking
I think.
about?
Your front lines, lights.
Front lights. Front we have a bright,
Mm.
we have a dim, we have, you know.
The beam. What is it? The beam lights.
No, the word beam it describes the type of light, but any light, you know. Beam it's
Okay.
how the light is there. So which one is it exactly? Let's see. Atule, Atule,
Hello,
yebo.
can you hear me? Okay. This one. Um,
Okay. You have to switch on your lights if you cannot see. The lights can be switched on from sunset to sunrise and
From
sunrise.
sunset to sunrise. Let's put
Yes.
it in simple English that sunset to sunrise, is it a daytime or nighttime? Choose one.
Okay. Okay. I-lights siyakwazi uzilayita even if it's day or night.
No, I'm saying, I need to know you spoke about the one gas sunset to sunrise.
Yes.
My follow-up question is it a daytime or a nighttime? Le ukhuluma ngayo. When we say from sunset to sunrise, are we referring to the daytime or a nighttime?
Okay, you can say a daytime.
Nope. You see, that's why I say this class is about understanding, right? It's from Endambam until Exeni, right? So that's a nighttime. Sunset to sunrise. So if it was a
Oh, okay.
sunrise to sunset, it's a daytime, right? Never ever confuse the two. All right,
Oh,
so that's a
okay.
nighttime. Our lights, they must be switched on during nighttime in simple English. And yeah, that's correct. Continue.
Okay. And also when you cannot see, maybe your visibility is not clear.
When our visibility is not clear, I think, yeah, that's good, but let's put it right. According to the rules, when is it? At what distance? From what distance? If I can't see beyond this distance, then it means I don't have a clear visibility.
I'd say maybe 150 meters.
150 meters. Amazing, guys, right? So that was the second rule.
Yes.
Whenever you have a poor visibility, meaning you don't see above 150 meters, switch on your lights. That doesn't matter whether we are talking about night or day, right? All right, continue.
Um, and also, you should be careful of your lights. Like you cannot of maybe if it's a night, if I get bright. Okay, you should be careful, but light is causing obstruct the oncoming traffic.
All right, just oncoming traffic. What if, how about the
Other
person that
cars.
I'm following? Hmm?
Yeah, it's about it's not only about the person that you are it is about the person that you are following and also other cars that are around.
Yeah, so you shouldn't use your bright unless
Yes.
there there are no cars in front of you, right?
Yes, that's what I'm
That's the
trying to
only
say.
time you get to use your bright lights. That's correct. By the way, I'm a bright lights. They should be able to show objects that are from what distance?
Um yeah. Okay, I'll have to guess this one. 100 meters.
100 meter is correct. Your guess was correct. Wow, amazing. All right, so yeah, our bright lights, they should show us objects that 100 meters away in front of us, right? As drivers. Yeah, that would be correct. Let me see. Other rules, Guma lights.
Yeah. Um.
Let me guide you then. How about if it's during the day, ne?
Yes.
The visibility of our intention, the lights that we use to show our intentions. How about that one? You know the lights that we use to show our intentions? The obvious one is an indicator, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm indicating, but also a brake light falls under that. When I brake, I'm telling the other road users that, hey, Pena, I'm stopping. All right? So that's another light. So, ati nama rules about those lights during the day.
Yeah.
Ziyakhala ne?
Iyakhala manje.
All right, guys, mnele nama emojis. Let's pick someone else. Sihle? Sihle?
Yebo,
Yebo.
soda.
Yeah. Can you continue from where ulogan just share corner?
Oh, withe ama-lights lawa wama-intentions
Yes.
mele abonakale like ukuthi uyabreaker or uya-indicator withe within 30 kilometers 30 meters
Yes. So someone with a normal eyesight, right? Asikhulumi ngabantu abafaka ama-goggles and stuff like that. No, we talk about people who can see clearly, right? So those people, they should
yeah,
be able to see those lights from a distance of 30 meters. Amazing.
yeah.
All right. So let's talk about street lamp. You know. So can you tell us that if we have stopped ebusuku, right, from some distance to street lamp eslidiwe, athini ama-rules?
Withe akukho compulsory ukuthi walayite ama-light lawo within 12 meters.
Yes. So from any distance less than 12 meters from a lighted street lamp, right? Then it's no longer compulsory for you to switch on a light. Remember, siteti now when we started here, between sunset no sunrise, your lights must be switched on, right? Now here we are saying this is an exception. This is an exception. If you are within that distance of 12 meters from a street lamp at night, it's no longer compulsory. There you can just switch them off. Okay.
Yeah,
How about
so
spotlights? So
yeah,
these are the lights that we put. Yeah.
ama-spotlights withe akumelanga konje witheni akumelanga a-change i-direction.
Correct. Right.
Yeah,
So our spotlights, they shouldn't fluctuate. Yeah. So and they shouldn't change my colors, right? So
yebo,
amazing, guys. Mnikeleni ama emojis there, right?
sibonga.
Mnikeleni ama emojis. One more here, Guma rules. I think the other rules that we can talk about, Mare. Let me just put this for future reference. Amare lights, right? So a car has these red lights ngemuva, right? So those are your red lights, right? So phezu kwama-red lights we have what? Ama-brake lights. So the rule will be, since both of these are red, the brake light, it must be brighter than the rear lights. Are we together? So when I apply a brake ebusuku, someone must be able to see good. Now this is a brake, it's not a rear light, this is a brake. And then when you are traveling when uhamba with your lights on, those what you see, those red lights ngemuva, those are your rear lights. Are we together? All right. So when you know that you are fine with lights, when you know that you are fine with lights, so let's talk about this terminology that normally limaza abantu, right? So your bright light, it's also known as a main beam. Bright, your main beam. You describe the type of a beam it is, your main beam. And if we are talking about a dim light, we are talking about a deep beam. Okay, cool. Next, let's look at AMA rules that are governing a learner driver. A driver without a driver's license, unelearner kuphela. Let me pick someone for this. Lebogang, a learner driver. Athini AMA rules for that person? Lebo? All right, let's see who am I having on Teams. Nokolo? Nokolo, can you unmute? Yeah, okay. Kinelwe?
A learner driver must only drive on a freeway if that person is accompanied by a person who has a license.
Yeah, so a learner driver must be accompanied by a person with a driver's license, not just on a freeway. Okay.
Okay.
But so let's what's important about the license that person possesses, that passenger? Does it matter? Does it matter, or anyone with a driver's license can accompany us?
I think anyone with a driver's license.
All right, so let's make an example. Okay.
Okay.
You are going to take a code 14 license, which means you have a code 14 learners.
Yes.
I have a driver's license, a code 8. Do you think I can be that person who accompanies you?
In that scenario, no.
So it means it is important, right?
Yes.
It is important, Ogutu. What type of a license does that person possess, right? So
Yes.
the person who accompanies you must qualify to drive the vehicle that you will be driving. Okay?
Okay.
So his or her license must be qualified. All right, let's, yeah. So how about passengers? Can someone with Elena's license have passengers?
Yes, they
Kinelwe?
can. Yes, they
Yes.
can.
Yes. In fact, the person that we spoke about who was accompanying you is a passenger, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, guys, right? When you know that we are fine. When you know that we are fine there. Whew. Let's look at rules guma pedestrian crossing. You know, pedestrians don't cross the road anywhere where they like, right? They cross in these markings as good my pedestrian crossings. Now, again, here you can look at it as a driver or as a pedestrian, right? So it can either be as a driver or a pedestrian. Priska, can you tell us about those rules if you are a pedestrian? If you are the one walking, rules follow.
Um, it's that you should cross only on the what do you call the pedestrian crossing lines or within 50 meters away from those lines.
Correct. Amazing. Mzwile guys, you should cross with a pedestrian crossing or within or 50 meters from those pedestrian crossings. Amazing. Mnikelena ama emojis there. Marinki. Tell us about the one for the driver then. Marinki.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Good Shenji.
Yes, okay. I have to, as a driver, you have to be alert. What I'm saying is that, Oren, you have to look both ways before you can cross for the pedestrians. And
Nope. But
no. Okay.
For pedestrians both ways. You mean left, right? I check pedestrians. After checking, then what?
You have to wait for the pedestrians to cross first.
Yes, so if you found them there, right? If you found those pedestrians there and it's their turn to cross, so if there's a light that says Agmele by crossing, then you can pass. But if their light says when Agmele stop you must yield for them. Yield for pedestrians. Yes, that would be correct. So you yield for pedestrians. In a case where there's a signal,
yes,
you wait for the signal. But if it's not there, if they got there before you,
you stop.
yeah,
Yes,
allow them
you
to
have to,
cross. Yes. What
yes,
else?
the pedestrians to cross.
What else? That one was
Yes.
correct. What else?
Oh, I only know that one.
We already spoke about another one.
I only know that one.
Okay. No problem. Asiegu Rulani. The second one we already spoke about. So this is Rulani.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
A driver pedestrian crossings.
Yes. I think as a driver, if the light is green, he should let them pass first.
Yeah.
And then when it's
Yes, that one is already mentioned. Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Let's continue then. Let's continue. So let me mute you there. So yeah, the other one we already spoke about it when we were talking about the rules to overtaking. I hope you remember we said if you found a car there, on that pedestrian crossing, iyildlela amanye ama-pedestrians to cross, do not overtake it, right? So that rule falls both sides. Ilwela go overtaking and also here, because it's about overtaking and a pedestrian crossing. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's pick up a pace. Let's pick up our pace a bit. We'll come back to the simple stuffs. Let's talk about AMA rules whenever we are involved in a collision or an accident, right? Whenever we are in an accident or collision. Noxolo? Noxolo? Okay, I think uNoxolo ngimbiza kwesi-2. Guys, you know the rules here, right? You do know the rules of this session. Okay, let's pass that. Marinki, you have a question?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Right. Kineilwe, back to you. In fact, let me go to Lebogang. Lebogang, Patricia, how is this going? Lebogang? Okay. Kineilwe?
The first rule is that you should stop immediately.
Correct, right? So whenever you're involved in an accident, make sure that you first start by stopping your vehicle immediately. Yes, what's next?
The second rule is you should check if someone is injured.
Yes, correct. Go and assess, right? And assess if the people were killed or injured. Killed or injured, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is that you should not move your car up until the emergency services have arrived, so they can take the measurements of the car, of where
That one
the
depends.
yes.
It depends. It depends on what?
I'm not sure what it depends on.
So let me help you with that. If someone was killed or injured, that's what you should do. Do not
Okay.
move your vehicle.
Okay.
Continue.
You should not. The other rule is that you should not take any alcohol.
Yes, do not take any drug substance, right? Do not take any drug substance to calm nerves up. That's correct, yes. What else?
The other rule is that you should report the incident within 24 hours.
That one depends also.
Okay.
Yes, it depends. So if no one was killed or injured, and me and the other driver, we decided to say, you know what, I'll fix your car, man, or my insurance will fix your car, you know,
Yes.
let's just move here from the scene and stuff like that without reporting to the traffic officer, right? Askagaba phoning and stuff like that. We decided to move from the scene on our own. And then we must follow that. We must make
Okay.
sure that we report our case. By the way, what is the period for reporting?
So 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. Within, right?
Okay.
Correct, yes. Move on.
The other rule is that you must not refuse to give out your personal details.
Yes, you must not refuse to give out your personal details, but to who?
To the police.
Yes. So to abantu bomthetho, right? So you can't
Yes.
refuse to give your contact or personal details to the traffic officer if you guys decided to call them and then they came there and stuff like that, right? So you need to do that. What else?
Yeah, those are the only ones I remember.
Yeah. So another one, it would be you can't refuse to give them a sample if they want to check ukuthi were you driving while drunk na, you know. So
Oh
for
yeah.
that you need a sample, so you can't refuse to do that. All
Yes.
right, yeah, amazing guys. Nilena ama emojis, I think she gave us a lot today, right? Nigilena ama emojis. All right, so let's add up on that, right? So let's just say you gave them that sample, right, to check ukuthi were you drinking and driving. How would I know? How would I know ukuthi phela if the results are like this, it means I was drunk? How would I know? Let's pick someone for that. Asitshela ama rules athini there. Boitumelo.
Hello,
Yebo.
Injani.
Aphila.
Siyaphila. Please repeat the question.
How would you know ukuthi here you have broken the rule, right? How would you know ukuthi this it means I was drinking and driving? Athini ama rules? When they have taken the sample kuwe
Mm-hmm.
bayokucheck ukuthi were you drinking and driving na? When those results come out, how would you know?
I think first of all, if you have insurance, you won't be angeke bayikhokhe. And another thing is that you can get arrested if somebody is injured or killed. I think.
You are new, ne?
Yes.
You haven't covered my recordings, ne?
Yeah,
Please do. Yeah.
I will.
All right. Let's pick someone. James. James.
Hello.
Yebo.
Yebo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but don't the question.
The question is, how would you know ukuthi you have broken the rules when it comes to drinking and driving when they show you the results? Athi nama rules there.
Yo, if I remember, I think pressurize ezosho ukuthi kume kanjani, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. Izosho njani? How
I
would you?
think it's all,
Izosho ukuthi this one was drunk.
no, I think it's a buzz or something. I'm not sure.
It will buzz when it has reached the what?
Uh, Level of alcohol in your
Yes.
body.
It will buzz from when?
Yes. I think it's from 0.02.
From 0.02
Yeah, grams.
grams.
Yeah.
All right, nope. But thank you for trying. So when you deal with this part, there are four answers. Number one, I expect you to to tell me according to the way that I tell you, right? There are two types of drivers. Tell me about which driver you're talking about. Number two, there are two types of samples. Tell me which sample are you referring to. Okay. Tsepiso.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we have professional. Is it professional driver and non-professional driver? So a non-professional driver will have at least, if the alcohol level is above 0.02 gram, and then the professional one,
So
it's
what?
when it's
Let me tell you what.
0.05.
Let me tell you what you just said right now, right? When you told
Okay.
us about the type of a driver, and
Okay.
you measured the alcohol without telling us which sample was taken.
The
Should I repeat?
that is okay.
You told us about which driver is it, and then you jumped straight to an alcohol without telling us which sample was taken. Gandhi,
Okay.
you were supposed to tell us about the driver, tell us about the sample, and then tell us about the alcohol in that order, right?
Yes.
You can't tell us about the alcohol level ungakasitsheli nga these two.
It's confusing me then.
Awuthi sibone someone or less confused. Kinelwe?
It's the blood. The grams is the blood.
Blood for which driver?
The ordinary driver and the professional driver.
Yeah, but you must pick one so that you can tell us about the alcohol level.
Okay, the ordinary driver it's 0.05, which is the blood. The professional driver is the 0.02, which is also the blood.
Nimzwile, right? So ukhuluma a type of a driver which is ordinary, and the nomunye was a professional. She spoke about blood in both cases. The sample was blood. She didn't talk about the breathalyzer, right? Talked about a blood sample, meaning they put a syringe and pull some blood out of you, and then those were the alcohol levels. What if now they made you to blow? If they made you to blow instead of taking a syringe to take a blood?
Like the breath.
Yes. A breath.
The breath for the ordinary driver must be 1,000 milliliters, and the professional must also be 1,000 milliliters.
No, I wanna know the alcohol level. Right?
Oh, for the ordinary driver.
For both.
That one I'm not sure.
Let me. You see these 100,000 milliliter. That measures how much sample they've taken out. It has nothing to do with how much alcohol is in that sample. Okay? It's telling
Okay.
us how much sample they've taken out. So when they make you blow 1,000 milliliter, right?
Yes.
That's the sample that they are taking. And when they are taking a blood, they take 100 milliliter. But I'm not asking you about that, right? I'm not asking you how much did they take. I'm asking you about the concentration of the alcohol in that sample. Yeah. Rulani. Rulani Kona.
Yes, yes. I did not cover this part.
Sihle?
Baba, uthe kumele kube yi-0.24.
Makwenze njani?
for yini breathalyzer.
For which type of a drive? I told you, do not tell me about alcohol ungakabali, sample, no drive. Go to which type of a
For
drive?
ordinary driver.
So ordinary driver was 0.24 milligrams, right? Yeah, that's correct,
Yeah.
Sihle. Yes. Next. How about the
Le professional driver angicheckanga because mina ngenze code 8.
a professional driver awukayicheckanga? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for a professional driver it's 0.1 milligrams, right? So 0.1 milligrams. Professional driver breath sample. Breath sample. The milligrams are for breath. The grams are for blood sample. Together? So if we are talking about a blood sample of a professional driver, Ukinelwe said it right, it's 0.02 grams. That's the concentration. So anything from there and above, it means you're drunk, right? From that, all of these measurements that we spoke about, from that and above, it means you were drunk, you were drinking and driving. But anything below that, it means you are fine. Sihle, yes.
So Puti,
Sihle, I'm listening. All right, guys, our first session is about to end. Let me start the second one. Join on that one and let's continue. Our rules.
sure.
Yes.
Bengicela ukubuza so i 0.05 grams lena maybe asingayibala njengamabhiya amangaki?
Amabhiya ama-percent akafani. So that measures just to drunk bakho. So
okay.
another beer, it could be one beer, so it would like better will be drunk. Mine it could be 3. So it's not measured based on that. It's measured on your drunkenness.
Okay, ngiyabonga.
Sharp. All right. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen. So yeah, if you know the things that we spoke about, then you are fine with collisions and alcohol, right? Then you're fine with collisions and alcohol. Now let's continue. Because the brain ear move. Let's continue. Okay. Rules. Let's pick a simple one. You know. Refill. So tell us about the rule that we have to remember when it comes to our tires, right? Atule, please mute, please.
Oh, sorry.
Refilwe. Okay. Yeah, Atule, you can unmute now. Atule. Okay. Sepiso.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
As it says that the depth must not be less than 1 millimeter.
The depth of what?
Yes. Of across the tires width or the circumference.
Yeah, so that the part partly yama threads is it those thread patterns there, right? Listen to when you are driving on a gravel road, is over pass, they are drawing down that part. It must not be less than 1 millimeter, right?
Yes.
Anything
And
less
then
than that, yes.
the other one says that the tires should not be in a state that it would disrepair. Yes. It was the tires should not be in a state that it would be disrepair or it may cause danger to the road.
Yeah, so your tires should be, especially Masaiten, they shouldn't have armor cuts, right? They shouldn't have
Yes.
armor cuts, which might make the tire to burst. So yeah, all
Yes.
right, amazing guys. Mnele na my emojis there. All right. So that one was a warming up. Is it? Yes, your hand is up. Refilwe. Are you trying to do an emoji there? Or you have a question? All right, Shadlula, let's look at these ones. These ones are a nice one. Nice one. So whenever we carry umthwalo or load, right? There are rules that we have to follow now. Whenever sine mthwalo that's in our vehicle. Let me see. Priska, can you tell us about those rules? Priska? Sihle?
Baba. Nje angizwanga kahle azi bengiphazamisekile.
Whenever you have umthwalo, which rules you must be governed by? Ngiyangimapha ama-rules ekumele walandele.
Umthwalo onjani udosa imoto noma?
That's called towing. Leyo towing leyo. You're not pulling anything. Uthethe umthwalo nje, uphethe umthwalo. Like umthwalo, you know? You're transporting umthwalo.
Hayi bhuti lapho bengingakafiki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kinelwe?
Can you please repeat the question?
Whenever we have loads in our vehicle, whenever we carry loads,
Yes.
we need to obey or adhere to certain rules, right? What are
Okay.
those rules?
Um, the load must not touch the road surface.
Amazing, right? So the first one is that whatever mthwalo that I'm carrying shouldn't touch a surface. And that's correct. What's next? What's
Um,
next?
the load must be securely fastened.
Yeah. We can take that, but it's not compulsory because it depends on the type of a car. But yeah, we can take it. All right. What else?
Um, the load must not um, the load must not hinder the driver's control of you.
Yes. So the load must not obstruct or hinder or block your view of the road, right? It mustn't. You must be able to see clearly kuma review mirrors and also on the front. Amazing. So lezo zibaleke kokuqala ukuthi it must not touch surface, and this one I normally call them as basics. Whenever we carry load, we really need to know that as first things first. Okay, yeah, continue that.
Um, okay, the flag, the red flag must be 300 milliliters by 300 milliliters in size.
What red flag? What red flag, I mean? How is the flag related to the loads? Can you tell us?
Um, I think it makes it know, or the people who are driving at the back know that. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not
So are
sure.
you saying whenever we carry load, we must have a flag? We must put a flag? Is that what you are saying? Whenever spethu umthwalo kumele sifake a red flag?
I think so.
Nope. All
Okay.
right. Ngaphandle kwale flag, can you continue? Other?
Those are the ones that I read, that I covered.
Okay. James.
Yo, yeah, I think you said when it comes to the size of the load, it must project not. I think the length must be not over 2.4 meters. At the front is 3.5, and also at the back must be 1.8 meters. If I'm not mistaken.
Asicale phansi James slowly ne, so that I can correct each and every one nangabe khona.
Okay.
So asicale ngale esayidini. 2.5
Yeah.
makwenze njani?
2.4 meter. The length, I think length of a load. Masaitin.
Yeah. It must not
Yeah.
project more than 2.4.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not me who said that. You got it somewhere. It doesn't say that. Okay?
I think I did. covered that one. I think I haven't covered that one, but
All right. Yeah, you got it somewhere. Uh, let's pick someone and see. Esther, can you tell us? Continue our projections. You know, our loads. So basically, our projections is the overlapping distance, right? Umthwalo onocala ukuhlola. What are the limits there? Esther?
On that one, I don't know. Like, I didn't even touch it today. I was busy with the other roles today. Truly
This was a
speaking,
test you guys just failed, ne? Failing.
but what I remember is that if it's overlapping, I forgot the meters from at the back and at the front. You must put the red flag. That is it? You said is it 30, is it 30 centimeter?
Hayi,
One side, if I'm
ziyakhalela ungawari sizo-correct everything. Don't worry, it's fine.
okay. Yeah.
Athule. Athule.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa.
Okay. Nama won't lie, Zian Kalela on this one, but I do remember Difika Kwenye that was talking about load. For an example, load that can disturb or kind of obstruct a driver from to see mirrors like the rear of the vehicles.
Yeah, that's what Ginelwe said, right? She spoke about
Oh,
those two. She spoke about the load touching the ground and also obstructing the view of the driver. I want to know the other ones.
yeah.
Siya continue, Bell. Continuing on what she left out.
Yes, I was going to continue and say that I saw that at the daytime there
Alright.
must be, sorry.
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, there must be a single red square.
Mm.
No. At the back,
Mm.
there must be a square red flag.
Makwenze njani?
At
As
the
long
daytime,
as long as daytime we get to put that
no,
yeah.
if the load it is beyond the rear of the vehicle. If the if oh if
Ibeke
okay.
ngeskin.
Yeah, yeah, I have my understanding.
Yeah.
I will make an example. We have a wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Wardrobe, it can disturb a driver from seeing from the mirror to see behind him. Yeah, so at the back he can put the square red flags.
So makabeke that square red flag ngoba iyam obstruct, it means uzobona manje.
Kaloku the wardrobe ivalile so
Mm-hmm.
when ebeka la ayikho nendide.
All right. Let's see. Okay, guys. Someone now I'm no longer picking, right? The most of the people that I picked, iyabahlula. So someone who knows, can you raise your hand so that sizwe when? Ajakal. All right. Let me say it then. Okay, Priska, yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna try on this one, right?
All
The
right.
ones that I remember. What I remember is that the projection limit from the front shouldn't be more than 300 milliliters, right?
Millimeters, right? Millimeters, yes.
Yes. And then at the back, it should be not more than 1.8 meters.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. And then also I remember as well that in Guma light vehicles, the load cannot be more than half of the vehicle side.
Ukhuluma ngama-side or ukhuluma ngani manje?
Load.
Yeah, but in terms of going high or aside,
Going up.
going up, correct, right?
Yes.
So if it's a
Yes.
light motor vehicle, the height of
Yes.
that load going up shouldn't be more than what? Half of the vehicle's height. Yes.
And then that if vehicle load it's more than 12,000 kg, it is considered as abnormal.
Usakhuluma ngama-load, man.
Sorry?
Are you still talking about loads?
Yes.
Or are you talking about the mass of the vehicle?
Oh, that's the mass, right? Oh, well, I guess I'm mixing things.
When we talk about a load, is kuluma umthwalo, right? The thing that you are carrying on that vehicle.
All right. So I guess they're the only one that I remember in terms of the load.
So you told us about the front, you told us about the back and the limit
Back,
going
yes.
up, right? But you didn't tell us about the Masaiti.
Okay, Kuma site it should be less than 2.5 meters.
For which type of a vehicle?
A light vehicle.
No, for any vehicle that weighs less than 12,000 kg.
Oh, okay.
For any vehicle that weighs less than 12,000 kg, the projection limit is 2.5, yes? So if it weighs more than that?
It's 2.6
2.6 meters, correct. I think the last thing there, going up, you only told us about a light motor vehicle. How about a heavy motor vehicle then? What would be the restriction of the load going up? Must be my heavy motor vehicle.
No, I don't remember on that.
All right, so that one would be 4.3, guys. 4.3 meters. It shouldn't pass 4.3 meters measured from the ground, dang it. All right, yeah. So that's it. Ngama loads, ngama projections work on. So I see that you are struggling. I'm gonna remind you about the other ones, right? So listen carefully. These limits that we spoke about, they were limits. They were telling us a load cannot pass this. Okay. Now, just like towing, from some distance, from some projection distance, now it becomes compulsory for you to display something, and that something is that red flag you guys were talking about, that 300 by 300 millimeter square red flag if it's during the day, right? Where do we put it? We put it at each corner of that load, right? Where in the site where the projection is happening. If it's at night, we use reflectors. We use something that reflects the light, and so for the front we use white reflectors, back red reflectors, sides yellow reflectors. Okay, so from what distance then? If we are talking about the side, it's 300 millimeter. These projections that I was talking about, good, now you need to start displaying you need to start displaying these markings like your red flags and or reflectors. It's from 300 millimeters if we are talking about the side. If we are talking about the back, it's 150 millimeters. All right, so from those distances, from those projection distances, make sure that you display that on your load. Are we together? Was I too fast? Hope I was clear then. All right, now sometimes we support our loads with a bracket, right? So a bracket is the thing that even sifage makonin, right there when we fast this load. The rule says that bracket, it shouldn't project more than 150 millimeter a sighting, right? So we know ukuthi our longest side or length as a sighting, it's up until to the level yama mirrors, right? So yeah, our projection there shouldn't be more than 150 millimeters of those brackets whenever we support our loads. Yeah, if you know that, if you know all of those, then you're fine. All right, so let me see what's happening. So we spoke about loads, yes. Let me cover these ones very quick because I want to use the last 5 minutes, 30 minutes for us to look at the simulation test. So yeah, siteti now, cars when they are on the road, they follow a standard design process, or should I say, yeah, zinama length and height are standard, right? Any car that's above this, it's considered as an abnormal vehicle. As long as it's within this, it's fine, it's a normal car, right? So if we are talking about trailers, except semi trailers, right, excluding semi trailers on this, so those trailers that weigh less than 12,000 kgs, their length, it shouldn't be more than 8 meters. So that's their standard length. There shouldn't be more than 8 meters. All right, so for trailers that weigh more than 12,000 kg, their length shouldn't be more than 12.5 meters. But this is not just for trailers, it's also for other cars, for your normal cars, light motor vehicle and stuff like that, right? They fall here because these are other cars, right? It's not trailers now. Now, if we are talking about articulated vehicles, right? An example here, it will be your semi-trailer, right? There we are talking about 18.5 meters. It shouldn't be longer than 18.5 meters. For combined vehicles and bus trains, lama bus la join it together, you know, all of that. And combined vehicles like your limos, 22 meters. They shouldn't be more than 22 meters. Any vehicle that is above these things in terms of length, that vehicle is an abnormal vehicle. All right. In terms of height, these were length, right? Were length. Now let's talk about the height restrictions. All cars, all vehicles, they shouldn't be more than 4.3 meters in terms of going up, right? Unless the exception is for what? A double deck bus. For a double deck bus, there we are talking about 4.65 meters height. So these two, like I said, anything that doesn't fall here, it's an abnormal vehicle. All right. Yeah, with that being said, I think let's pick one more person to tell us about a simple rule here. so that tomorrow I'll be left with few rules to finish up this. So let's cover these two. Let me see. Then we go to the simulation test. Atule, can you tell us about our rules when it comes to our number plates? Which rules should we follow our number plates? Atule? Ngiyadlula. James? James?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the question is about rules on what?
My number
Number
plates.
plate. I think number plate should be clear and visible.
Clear and visible. That's correct. How is
Yes.
that measured, by the way, during the day?
How's it measured?
Yeah. How would we know that this one is clear? From what distance? If I can read and see what's written there, it means that number plate is clear and visible. From what distance?
Oh, I think it's 45.
Nope.
Now I'm guessing.
Nope, James. Let's get someone to help you.
Okay.
Tepiso?
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Ish, those ones, I don't think I've ever came across them.
Okay, Sihle?
hayi namphuthile ezo ngizenzanga ke.
Alright, so from a distance of 20 meters, right, James? From a distance of 20 meters, someone with a normal eyesight during the day must be able to read what's written there. Okay, continue there. James?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I must continue.
Yes.
What else? The car must have what? Two number plates, one in the front and one in the back.
Correct. That's correct, right? So, as long it's a motor vehicle, must have at least minimum
Two.
two number plates, right? We are not talking
Yes.
about motorcycles here. Askhulume
Yeah.
e-scooter, right? E-scooter, it's one. But for motor vehicles, for a motor engine, minimum two. One at the front, one at the back. Yes, correct. What else?
What else? You.
All right. So let me help you with that. The background of the number plate, it must not be dark, right? It must be
Okay.
light. It must be something eyenza ukuthi kube readable lapho. So it must be light. It can be yellow, white, whatever it is, right? As long
Okay.
as it's light, it can't be black or stuff like that. It can't be dark. All right. The other one without that one is that when we position, the way we put our number plates, there's a standard that we follow. It's called a sub standard, right? It's a sub
Okay.
standard. We position the number plate upright. Asibek the way isifuna ngakhona, right? Sibeka upright. If it is tilted, nangabe ijekile, it shouldn't make or it shouldn't be above an angle of 30 degrees. Okay? That's the standard that we follow when positioning our number plates. Okay, those are the rules for number plates. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, we're gonna continue these other ones tomorrow. Let's go and look at the simulation test. For Labengati Sebalel, I know you like simulation test, guys. So let's go and do that. Let's go and look at test here. So we started test one yesterday. Let me take this one out. Okay, here's a question, right? Who am I giving it to? Okay, cool. Yeah, it changed. All right, Sihle, which rule is correct with regarding to our number plates? A, you may remove your number plates when driving on a freeway. B, all vehicles must have a number plate that has clear letters and visible from a distance of 20 meters away. C, you may drive a vehicle with a number plate that is tilted at an angle of 245 degrees. Which one is
I
correct?
think it's I think it's B.
B, right? B is the correct answer. Amazing, guys. Nama emojis, right? So we just spoke about that one. Which of the following are allowed on a freeway? I'm just gonna skip this one, right? We didn't talk about the stuffs that are not allowed there, but let's just do it, okay? So A says animal drawn vehicles, B says samapedas cycles, C says a tractor. No, we spoke about this yesterday, right? A donkey, bicycles, and tractors. We said all of the above are not allowed on a freeway. Oh, so we didn't do our parking rules. Here's a question about parking. What is the maximum period that a vehicle may be parked outside an urban area? Atule, is it A, 7 days, B, 24 hours, C, 48 hours? Ulele, aslule. Priska usesekhona? Nope. Yeah, Priska is here. Priska?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Outside urban areas, it's 7 days.
Outside urban area is 7 days. Yazi uyisho ngeconfidence. Uyizwe kimi yona le. Yazi uyisho ngenye confidence.
No, we haven't. No, I say I covered those ones, right? So
So no, it's there on the recordings. What I'm saying, I
it's
didn't
not.
assess you on that. Okay? Tsepiso.
I think it's 24 hours,
24
number
hours is
B.
the correct one, right? 24 hours is the correct one, not 7 days. All right, a double deck bus, this one we did cover it, right? Together with any load, it is not allowed to operate on a public road if the overall height is A, 9 meters, B, 5 meters, C, more than 4.65 meters. Gineilwe, which one is the correct answer there? A, B, or C?
I think it's C.
C, right? Double deck bus will C. Correct. Next, a vehicle that is not allowed on a public road. We spoke about this yesterday. Causes excessive noise, right? Ibang umsindo. Sweet. So I'm just gonna skip that. Let's see this one. I think this one also we spoke about it yesterday. You may not stop on a freeway unless when you are in compliance with the sign, right? If it's the sign that's telling you to do so, if it's you are being instructed by a traffic officer, and also when the situation is beyond your control. C was the correct answer. So let's continue. All right, here's an amazing one. We did cover this about alcohol levels, right? So you may not drive a motor vehicle on a public road when the concentration of alcohol in your body is more than if it's a blood sample. So here I didn't mention Oguti, this type of a driver is what? Right? So, but by looking at the answers there, you can see all of these answers, they end with O5. That means this type of a driver is an ordinary driver, right? It's an ordinary driver. So I don't lie. I took this question somewhere, so I don't like it. So as an ordinary driver, and the blood sample was taken, then your alcohol level must be less than what? It can't be more than what? If it's more than that, it means you violated the rules. Asizwe. Sihle? Is it A 0.05 grams or B 0.005 grams or C 0.005 grams?
A.
A, right? So yeah, A. Let's continue. A trailer, which is not a semi-trailer, with a GVM that is less than 12,000 kg, it must have a length that is A less than 8 meters, B more than 10 meters, C less than 12.5 meters. Tsepiso, which one's the correct answer then?
Number A.
A, right? So keyword less than.
Yeah.
That, right? So A is correct. When should the vehicle's headlamps be kept on? Mele ama lights wama wemoto abe on magwenzenjan. Number 1 says during the daytime. Number 2 says between sunset no sunrise. Number 3 says when the road is not clearly visible from 150 meters and above. All right. Kinelwe, this one is for you. So A says the first one was the only one which was correct. B says the second one and the third one, those were the only ones which were correct. C says all of them, they were correct.
It's B.
B, right? Second one and the third one, those were those two. All right. You should not park your vehicle. Again, about parking, we didn't cover this, but it's there on the recordings, so we'll look at it tomorrow. But for now, let's see what Boba never cover really. James, you should not park your vehicle on a roadway of a public road if A, you are within a 5 meters distance from an intersection. B, the situation is beyond your control. C, you have a flat tire. So do not park on the roadway. Magwenzenjani. A, P, or C?
I think it's B, the situation beyond your control.
So if the situation is beyond my control, I can't park. James?
Oh, you should not park. Oh, sorry about that.
Hey. Chris?
If you are within I think it's A.
A, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you do ama rules with me where we were talking about stopping and parking distances where those things are forbidden, we said from go intersection,
Yeah.
you can't be parking what? From go 5 meters going down, right? So A is the correct one. Next, if you are towing a vehicle with faulty brakes, this one we spoke about it, towing yesterday, you must A, not carry more than one passenger in the towed vehicle. B, use a drawbar or tow bar, not a tow rope. C, not drive faster than 30 kilometers per hour. Let's see, who am I picking for this one? Atule? Atule, I think Ulela at Simkip. This was the second one. All right. Sihle?
OP.
OP, right? A vehicle with faulty brakes, it must be towed with a solid bar, either a drawbar or a tow bar. We can't use a rope or chain. All right, B is the correct answer there. Amazing. Guys, nailing on my emojis. I forgot that you guys should give each other those things. All right, before you reach the exit of a freeway, which lane should you position yourself? We spoke about this yesterday, so I'm gonna pass it, right? So we set on a freeway. Our exits, they are on the left hand side only. We don't have an exit on the right or an off ramp on the right. So position yourself on the left hand lane. Okay. A driver of a vehicle may not cross a road if Gwenzenjani. We also spoke about this. A, there is a clear the road is clear of moving traffic. So there's no traffic. That's what A is saying. B says there's an obstruction or moving traffic. So C says the vehicle can cross without obstructing or endangering any road user. When is it not an ideal time for me to cross? It's if there's an obstruction or a moving traffic. B is the correct answer. We spoke about this. The maximum period that a vehicle may be parked in an urban area. Ke
It's B.
7 days, right? Keyword in. We are in that urban area, not outside it. All right, can you mute, please? Thank you. Next, any load. This is about loads now, eh? Any load carried on a vehicle, it must A, have a red flag or triangle tied to it. B, be covered with sheeting. C, not obstruct the driver's view of the road. James, which one's the correct answer? A, B, or C?
Any load that carried on a vehicle must not obstruct the driver's view of the road.
Correct.
C. Yeah.
J, load, it shouldn't obstruct the driver's view, right? Cool, amazing, guys. Emojis there. If your vehicle is in motion, you may not do this. Let's see. A says drive with parking lamps at night. B says have passengers on it. C says drive at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Sihle, which one's correct?
ngicabanga ukuthi A la.
A is the correct one. So you are not allowed to drive with parking lamps on a public road, right? So A is the correct one, correct? All right. The way pass of your windscreen. So this question is based on our way pass, which we now we're gonna look at them tomorrow, but again on my recordings. So the wipers of your windscreen should A, be able to wipe your sunroof, B, be black in color, C, wipe the outside of the windscreen directly in front of you of the driver continuously, evenly, and adequately. We did talk about this yesterday. C was the correct answer, right? Remember, so let's pass that. A vehicle may not be used on a public road if A, if it is fitted with a fuel tank cap which is red, right? So if the fitted fuel tank is red, that was A. B says if the fitted fuel cap is yellow. C says if the fitted fuel cap is not effective. Preska, which one's the correct answer there?
It's C.
C, right? So if that fuel cap, let's follow, say, that tank as valigas, right? And then that vehicle shouldn't operate on the road. Amazing, guys. My emojis. C, a driver, next question. A driver of a vehicle can never do this. What is that? A, pass to the right at a safe following distance when overtaking. B, exceed the speed limit when overtaking. C, overtake when having passengers. James, which one's correct?
I think it's B.
B, right? Exceed speed limit. Whether you are overtaking or what, no. Right, so how long is a learner's permit valid for? We spoke about this yesterday. 24 months is the answer there. Right. So let's continue. Let me see. A driver should not drive a vehicle on a public road. A, in a manner that puts the safety of individuals or property in danger. B, if it does not have a sunroof. C, if it does not have a car stereo. So a driver should not drive a vehicle on the public road. Makwenze njani sihle?
A.
A, right. If you're gonna endanger any road users, do not. Alright? Do not. That's correct, guys. My emojis. When is not compulsory, right? When is it not compulsory to wear a seatbelt? This question is about a seatbelt. We did cover that. Number one, when we are moving in or out of a parking bay. Number two, when we are reversing. Number three, when we are driving below 60 kilometers per hour. Select the correct combination there. A says only the first one was correct. Let's see who's gonna answer this for us. Priska. So A says only the first one was correct. B says all of them were correct. C says only the first two. The first one and the second one were correct. Which one?
Well, I think see only the first two.
Only the first two. C, right? Amazing, guys. My emojis. All right. Oh. Which rules govern our stop lamps? Stop lamps, remember, our stop lamps, they fall under my lamps of our intentions, right? Those lights that we use for to show our intentions. All right, so you have that. Now I'm gonna pick someone here. Tsepiso. Number one says vehicles with no stop lamps should not operate on the road. Number two says stop lamps must be visible from a distance of 30 meters away during the day to a person with a normal eyesight. Number three says you may drive a vehicle without stop lamps. It's not compulsory. So select the correct combination there. Is it A, where A says only the first two were correct? B says only the first one was correct. C says all of them they're correct.
Can you please share the question?
Yeah?
Can you? Yeah.
Can I do what?
Yeah.
All right, your network is bad. I'm gonna pass the person, eh? So let's go to Sihle. Which one's the correct answer there?
Ayile angikho sure ngayazi. Kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi A.
So yeah, A is the correct answer. Come on, Sihle. A is the correct answer, right? This one we already spoke about. Your car must have stop lamps or brake lights, right? Never be confused by this. So these are your brake lights, also known as stop lamps. So it must have them. It is compulsory for that. And then we set those brake lights. They must be visible from a distance of 30 meters and above to someone with normal eyesight, right? During the day, they must see those. So A is the correct answer.
Sure.
Now, cell phone, we didn't talk about this. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow, but again, it's there on the recordings. So let's cover it. Well, we have 7 minutes remaining. A cell phone or any communication device should, while driving, A says be handled with one hand. B says not be handled with your hands or any part of your body. C says be handled with two hands. We did speak about this yesterday. I remember right now. So the correct answer is B. Shouldn't be handled with your hands or any part of your body. All right. So let me see this one. A driver of a vehicle on a public road should only stop. Amazing. Yeah, a driver of a vehicle should only stop magwenzenjani. Number one says, let me see, who am I picking first? Kineilwe, it's yours. So number one says, if he is in compliance with the direction conveyed by a sign, right? So u obey a sign. Number two says, if he was signaled by a person leading or driving any boven animal on the road, right? So yes. Number three says, if animals are seen crossing the road and can only move when all animals have crossed and the road is safe to continue. Which one's correct there?
I think all of the above are correct.
Yes, all of the above are correct. Yes, C is the correct answer. Amazing. Next, about trailers, remember? So is Guma length restriction. So they say a trailer which is not a semi-trailer. So this trailer has a GVM that is more than 12,000 kg. It must have a length that is A, more than 10 meters, B, less than 12.5 meters, C, less than 8 meters. James, which one is correct there? A, B, or C? James?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A trailer is not a summer trailer. It's muzzle and there is more than 12,000 kg.
Yes.
I think it's less than 12,000. I think it's B.
Yeah.
No, I think it's C. No, it's C.
Yeah, man. James, you were correct. You moved it to an incorrect answer.
The
So the
problem
correct,
is that
correct.
the less than. That is where I was confused.
So we said if it's less than 12,000 kg is C, but if it's more than 12,000 kg is B. Okay, and the question was about more than. All right, so B was the correct answer there. Let's move on. Next, a driver of a vehicle can disobey any sign, signal, marking, or rule of the road if kwenzenjani. Number one, if he or she feels like doing so. Let's see who are we picking for this. Yeah, Preska. So if he or she feels like doing so. That was A. B, if he or she is under the influence of alcohol. That's B. C says if ordered by a traffic officer to do so.
That's this, sir.
C, right? C, because according to our rules, a traffic officer's instructions, they are above a sign, signal, marking, or our rules. Okay. All right. I am having 3 minutes left. Okay, let's see if we can wrap up. Under what circumstances? Circumstance or circumstances, right? Is it permitted to drive on the shoulder of the road? Aye. Asibone. Sihle. Number one says when you want to allow another person to overtake you during the day. Number two says when your vehicle has broke down. Number three says when a traffic officer has ordered you to do so. Select the correct combination then. A, all of them were correct. B, only the first one was correct. C, only the second and third were correct.
A.
A, right? So under all of these circumstances, I am allowed to drive on the shoulder of the road, right? Cool. Next, you should not park your vehicle. Again, this is about parking, which we haven't dwelled much on it, but let's check it out. It's there on the recordings. You should not park your vehicle on the road if A, you have a flat tire, B, it is beyond your control. C, it will block any public or private vehicle entrance. So, Sepiso, which one's correct?
C.
C,
C.
right? So if you're gonna block a gate or something, any entrance, whether in game mall or whatever it is, you shouldn't park there. C is the correct answer. Next, James, the deep beam, right, also known as a dim light of your vehicle, may not illuminate more than away. A, 10 meters, B, 45 meters, C, 60 meters.
B.
B, right?
Yeah.
Dim light shouldn't be brighter than OP, correct. Here's a question about accidents. When you are involved in an accident, you must do the following. What is that? A, number 1 says you must stop your vehicle immediately. Number 2, assess the nature or an extent of injury. C, drink a bit. What's this? So this is supposed to be drink a bit of alcohol to calm your nerves. Okay, it's good that I've seen it, right? So that I can correct it. So yeah, Sitle, which one's correct there? A, select. What is it? All of the above were correct. B, only the first 2 were correct. C, only the third one was correct.
You should drink a bit of alcohol. Ngadlala is B.
So yeah, the correct answer it is B, right? So we are not allowed to take any drug substance to calm our nerves. Okay. A motor vehicle with a turning radius that is more than it is not permitted or allowed to operate on the public road. A, 15 meters. B, 6 meters. C, 13.1 meters. Guys, this it's okay. Let's just wrap up the whole simulation test. I think it was like 30 something, 35 or 34 questions, because I see the time is shy. James, A, P, or C?
A.
About the turning radius, no, it can't be A. Kinelwe?
Oh.
Kinelwe?
B.
B, nope. The correct answer is C. Guys, we did this yesterday. 13.1 meters. All right. What is the length limit of any other vehicle? All right. Guys, unfortunately, the call is about to end. This is where we are ending. Good people, have an amazing night.